So Christ is my ruler. Cheki vile nina mistari. Hizi mistari ni za Christ, hizi mistari mina drop. Hizi mistari mina drop kama rivers ina flow. Hizi mistari mina drop na silence kama pin drop. Hizi mistari na drop na violence kama rainfall. Hizi mistari na drop on their faces kama tear drops. Hizi mistari na drop on their skin kama pimples. Hizi mistari nita drop until they know that we are the people. Hizi mistari sita drop tena. Juu kama si ya God, then my mouth nitazipop. And so without Christ in your life, ni car phone haina SIM card, you just missed the line. Without Christ in your life ni kama mse ameosha nguo but akaziangusha chini, you just missed the line. Without Christ in your life ni kama mse amechelewa patia chakula, I'm sorry, you just missed the line. Without Christ in your life ni kama mse ashikanishi spoken word, I'm sorry, you just missed the line. And so ile design natumia talent yangu, utadhani mimi ni transformer ya stima, si pia hiyo iko na kipawa. Atikati ya barabara ya lami na ile lampi natupatia light gani ndo taa. Mimi nimedecide I will stand for the truth kama mawingu mi sky. Plans of Christ ni safi, washed by his blood, clean, no wonder haziwezi bafu. In your arms Christ is so comfortable, in your arms it's so safe, so no need for cautions. Most of the time kwa life devil atakama kidai pass, but sisi hatuwezi mpampa juu atatuweka kwa morphix. Below the cross nguo zake walizikas lost, utadhania ziko normal material, ile design walizibid. And so God ni mso, ile design leave the 99 to come for this one, juu yendo mso. Ile design hakuna place naweza jificha from yeye, juu bado ananicheki juu yendo mso. Ile design word yake ni kama sword inakata both sides juu yendo mso. Ile design nimegrow in his word after amenipanda kama mbegu juu yendo mso. And so God, every time I think about you, me feel fitty. Every time I'm in your presence, me feel guilty of not worshiping you enough. Every time I'm in your presence, me feel niko poa and I feel I'm at home. Like Simon Peter, I don't need to build a tent of meeting on this mountain of transfiguration because my heart is already your dwelling. And so jina unaweza niita Manuscripts because when God speaks, Manuscripts. And so vipi wadau, mimi naitwa Manuscripts. Manuscripts is my name and I'm so happy to be here. I'm a spoken word minister. I use poetry to tell people about Jesus. And apart from poetry, actually I've been doing poetry for the past 8 years now. It's been 8 years, since 2015. That's when I started doing poetry. And so I've done poetry for 8 years now, and I've grown. Let me say I've grown through the experiences, getting to go to different places, performing in schools, in high schools, in campuses, in the streets, in events, in theaters, called to perform in theaters here in Nakuru, in Nairobi, all over the country, and I believe all over the world one day. And so that is where I've done poetry. I'm born and raised in Nakuru. I'm a Nakuru person. And now, apart from poetry, I also do content creation. I create content online. And so I do inspirational content. I get to interview different kind of people. We get to do projects in town, in the streets. We get to talk about Nakuru city, and not only Nakuru city, but we get to inspire people all over the world. That is the kind of content that I get to do now, aside from poetry. But before I go there, now when it comes to poetry, I'm currently part of a competition that happened that is actually called The Rough, happening at Hope TV. Hope TV, there is a competition happening there called The Rough, and I'm one of the competitors. Yes, and so it's a talent competition looking for the best and the talented guy who will come number 1, position 1, position 2, position 3 in Kenya. And so currently that is where we are. We are headed to the quarterfinals right now, and I thank God so much because of the opportunity to be at The Rough right now. And very soon I'll be needing your votes, guys. And so this is my request. Just check out my YouTube channel, not only my YouTube channel, but on all social media platforms, on Instagram, on Facebook, and also on TikTok. Get to follow me, Manuscripts. Just get to follow Manuscripts so that as I get to move to the next level. Right now I'm headed to the quarterfinals, and so for me to go to the semifinals and to the finals, I'm actually going to need your vote. And so I request that you get to follow me on my social media platforms, Manuscripts, and you will get more of my poetry. And now, in addition to that, now to get more of my content creation, I would like you to follow me on all social media platforms. My YouTube channel is called Life Probe. So Life Probe, Probe. Get to follow Life Probe on all social media platforms as well, on Instagram, on Facebook and YouTube as well. Get to follow Life Probe, and you're going to see inspiring stories that we get to do in the streets of Nakuru, in the streets of Kenya, and everywhere we get to go to, and content that is actually going to inspire you. And even as you share this content, somebody else is going to be inspired. And so that is my plea, and that is what I get to do. Life Probe and Manuscripts. And the reason why I call myself Manuscripts, by the way, I call myself Manuscripts because even as I finished, like my last line in that previous spoken word, I said, jina unaweza nita manuscripts, because when God speaks, manuscripts. Yeah, so it's manuscripts because I script and I write down and I share that which God puts in my heart. Sizitaka kukaa kuongea mbele ya watu kitu yenye tu nawadanganya ati nimejionea tu vitu huku nikuje tu niongee kitu yenye sina facts about. I want to hear from God, from what I read in the Bible. That is what I get kutoka kwa word ya God, alafu nakam na bonga. And so that is what I get to speak. And so above all, by the way, Manu is a person mwenye anapenda God sana, na nimeokoka, napenda Yesu. And I am so happy for the chance to be here. And this month, even as Nakuru content creators, actually, we have a group called NCC, that is Nakuru Content Creators. And as Nakuru content creators, they are actually focusing on manuscripts the whole of this month. And I'm very honored for this opportunity, and also very honored for Nakuru today to have me on your platform. And I am so grateful. And so this is Manuscripts, because when God speaks, manuscripts it. So to qualify as impossible doesn't mean you qualify to enter the narrow gate of heaven. The same way ukikalia railway wezi lose weight jio siku train. Just trust in God and don't lose your focus. Yet unaendesha baiskeli. See, your focus haifai kwenye your name being written in the Guinness Book of Records, but rather being found in the Lamb's Book of Life. And so Christ is all you need in your life. Life bila Christ ni kaa maize corn bila seeds, ni kaa blind soldier fighting a terrorist, ni kaa the world bila we na mimi. Oh, Christ alikama kakina my soul, and I'm not complaining. The end of the reason I can clap, snap, leave my hands up is last and failing. Oh, Christ anani drive crazy hata siwezi ona road signs. Watch out, slippery flow of love that may fall in love na ye. And so for me, I'm not interested in Facebook or Twitter. I'm interested in WhatsApp. That's the source of my love, peace and hope. And so mimi niko ndani ya Christ ka blue band ndani ya mkate, as in is the bread of life, na mimi ndo bibi, yani wife, me and you, we are the bride of Christ. And so prepare for his coming is near, na kujampio yani anakimbia. And you know, for you to go to heaven, it's not about how good you are, it's not only about your deeds, but it's about your personal relationship with Christ. The same way Prophet Elijah kuivaa suti lakini chakula saliletewa na tai, au sio? So jina unaweza nita Manuscripts, because when God speaks, manuscripts. Adios.